Welcome to the Tyson Benson Pre-Trial Run, home of the Sioux City Musketeers. Puck drop from the one before this USHL matchup. Please listen carefully. For your safety and the safety of the players.
On a nice 50-degree day here in Sioux City, Iowa, we have got a big matchup here today between, or tonight, I guess we could say at this point, between the Waterloo Blackhawks and the Sioux City Musketeers. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the broadcast booth. I am Ronnie Vadine with you all here this evening. So glad you could be with us. Well, both these teams, one game deep this weekend. Waterloo, they had a hard-fought battle with Des Moines, but then Waterloo finally pulled it out right towards the end there, and they were victors. So, yeah, and then, of course, Sioux City, they had just a rough night last night, I think, to say the least. They played a good game, but they just couldn't finish it out. So, unfortunately, they did take the L last night. But you know what? Sometimes that happens. And Coach Kersner, he said this before, that, at some point we're going to have to beat Sioux Falls if, we want a chance to win the championship. So, of course, they'll have the 2 games next weekend up there as well. So, yeah. Waterloo, they come into tonight at 14:35, 2-2. That's 32 points for them total on the year. They've already been eliminated from postseason contention, so we won't have to worry about them this year. So they got nothing to play for, but I guess their pride and dignity, we can call it. So, yeah. And then, of course, Sioux City, they're still tied at third with a record of 26-22, 3 and 2. That's 57 points. They're tied for third. Last night, Sioux Falls, they clinched a first-round bye. So, well, for Fargo, that would make the lucky number 7 for them, although it might even be less than that. So we might be stuck in third place. But you know what? That's okay. I mean, there is a slight chance that we could get above Fargo, but Fargo would have to lose a whole lot of games. So, but you never know. Weird things happen all the time in this league, especially with this team. So with Sioux City, I mean, you guys know all too well about that. So yeah, if you've been following us all season long. So yes, it should be an interesting one here tonight. We're a little short-handed, which we'll get to here shortly. In fact, we got some new information, I guess, some interesting information. So I guess we'll start with the first piece of it. Last night, you know how much of a doofus Sioux Falls' coach was last night, because he challenged 2 plays and got them wrong twice, and then he was complaining about the one goal, Gavin Gary's goal, because he thought it was a high stick, and he was trying to get the officials to challenge it, but they were just so assistant on the bench. I guess they have a league official watching their coach every single game, because I guess he does this every single game, which I just find quite amusing. So basically, Sioux Falls, from what it sounds like, has cheated their way to first place in the West. So that might be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. Could be interesting later on down the line. That's all I'm going to say. And then a couple of more pieces of info I have we'll actually get to right now as we talk about the lineups, who's in, who's out, and all that good stuff. So we'll start out with Waterloo. Their scratches. We always start out with the scratches. So their scratches tonight: Trevor O'Donohue, he's suspended. Tyler Dekos, he is injured. Jacob Lynch, he's just a healthy scratch. And then Cody Sokol and Jimmy Reiber, they are also injured. So, yeah, banged up team too. So, along with being eliminated from the postseason. Kind of a bad combination. And then Sioux City, Max Anderson, he is injured. I guess he was in the hospital for something. I don't know what, but couldn't quite get that confirmed, but that's all we know. And then Dakota Bailey, I guess he's suspended from the fight last night. I just think that's complete and total baloney, but okay. And then Daniel D'Alessandro, he's injured. And then I guess Travis Poliski, somebody mentioned a 4-game suspension, so that would really suck if we didn't have him for 4 games. This would be the second of 4, so, but can't confirm that piece of info either as well. So We'll start at, well, now we'll go to the lineups for both of these teams. Waterloo, their starting lineup: Nash Road, Salvatore Viviano. He had a good night last night. He scored 2 out of Waterloo's 3 goals. And then at right wing, Ty Mason. The defensemen go like this. At left defense, Avery Lalibert and Jackson Schneider. And then, for Sioux City, well, we'll run down their full line chart because we'll obviously hear the starting lineup in about 9 minutes or so. But when we run down their full line chart, first line, they're pretty much keeping things the way they are for the most part. First line, Trey Jeffress, William Tomko, Ashton Schultz. Second line, Luke Gary, Gavin Gary, and Kyle O'Leary. That line was probably the best line last night for Sioux City, not just points-wise, but in terms of how well they played. Third line, Elias Fontenay, Pavel Martineau, and Aiden Dyer. That they've made up a really nice third line, that is for sure. Fourth line, Lenny Geiger, Dallas Potter, and Daniil Boutin. Then the defensemen go like this. First line, left defense, Derek Olson, Shane Gold, Ryan Poirier, Mason Stenger, then Gavin Carr and Christian Lyons. And then I guess we could say we have a new guy, but he's not all that new. He's played with us 1 game this year. He's going to be a future player, probably starting next season or so. He's an 09er, so he'll be with us for quite some time unless we decide to trade him. But first time the home fans will be seeing Max Jakob. And then the backup goaltender tonight for Sioux City will be Jack Victhorn. Ryder's going to get the start. I thought he did tremendous last night. There were a couple of goals on breakaways that I think he would love to have back, but sometimes those things happen. So yeah. Alrighty, we are going to take a break. The pregame show will continue right after this. We'll have the starting lineup, the national anthem, last minute pregame stuff, and then it'll be puck drop here in the Sioux. So yeah, we'll take a break. We'll be right back after this, as well as a word from your local RVN station.
Apparently riding the dog like it's a small horse is frowned upon in this establishment. Luckily, though, I conceal this bad boy underneath my blanket just so I can get on E-Trade, check my investment portfolio, research stocks, and set conditional orders. Wait, what do you take? Oh, I see. Hey, Max, want to kill you to throw a guy a warning mark? I wanted a bird.
E-Trade. Investing unleashed.
Fans in the French scored a goal in the first 5 minutes of the game. That Wednesday's game will be free city lights with purchase by Church and Breakfast.
We represent the Lollipop Hill, the Lollipop.
The Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild. Whatever the voices, this is not good.
jewelry. If you have gold rings, gold earrings, I'll give you cash. If you have diamonds, bring them to me. I'll give you cash. I love gold. Bring me your old gold and I'll give you cash. Because...
More snow and blistering winds coming into the area. Find out more later on tonight at 11. Welcome back, everybody. Well, we are just about ready to go here in the Tyson Event Center Fleet Farm Arena. Well, the three blind mice, also known as zebras, the referee and linesmen have come out onto the ice, doing their laps, I guess. We only got one referee tonight, so expect some bad calls. We'll always expect bad calls, but from any and all officials, we'll just say that. Also got the guys with the flags out there. I mean, it's usual routine, nothing different. That's for sure. And I keep on calling them the Muskies. They're called the Frenchies tonight. Of course, we got the French Bulldogs racing tonight during the intermission. So, yeah, gotta lock that into my brain. Frenchies, Frenchies, Frenchies. That's what they're called tonight. They got special jerseys for it, too. It's going to be a good night. Coming up next, and we got rally towels, too. So, the starting lineup, the national anthem, and then last-minute pregame stuff, and it's going to be puck drop. Let's have fun.
but for hockey, hello, Zach Higgins, at Low Trainers here, right? Your quick measure is Zach Peterson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the ice as tonight's national anthem is performed by Katie Brewer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Okay, we are ready to go. Let's take a look at tonight's starting goaltenders for Waterloo. Dane Calloway, in his second year, spent last year with Fargo, 5-8-1-1, a 3.15 goals against average and a .903 save percentage with 1 shutout, 1 assist, and 17 penalty minutes. So he's got quite a few stats, I'll tell you that much. Then for Sioux City, Ryder Shea, 12-4-0-0, a 3.56 goals against average and a .888 save percentage. No shutouts, but he does have 25 penalty minutes, so don't mess with them. Or I should say, don't get into a fight with him, because that's where all of his penalty minutes come from. So yeah, I think we're ready to go. Just had the ceremonial puck drop. Then they have a little kid give the game puck to the officials. The only time that a Musketeer fan should ever be nice to a referee. But, you know, what can I say? So, Waterloo, they'll start their top line. This should be a fun one here this afternoon. Well, I guess this afternoon for 2 time zones. Here we go. Salvatore Viviano will take the draw with Gavin Gary. And we are off and underway here in Sioux City. Viviano won the draw, but he dumps it back behind the net of his own goaltender. Taken out towards center. Gavin Gary tried to chip it in, but couldn't. Christian Lyons poked around center. Viviano there for Gavin Carr at center, sent down into the corner behind the net. Dane Calloway picks that one up. Calloway around the boards. Out towards the blue line, Gavin Carr shoots it just wide. Rode sends it out towards center, but Gavin Gary will take control of this one. He'll dump it back behind the net of Calloway. Calloway leaves it there.
A lot of places, a lot of companies, a lot of
51. Here's Schneider with it. Schneider. Into the hands, Tim out towards center. Nash Road dumps it down into the corner. Olsen with it behind the net. Olsen there, Shane Gold. Here's Gold. Out towards center, Gold sends it down. Calloway with the little stick gets it into the corner. Dinovich with it behind the net. Dinovich. Now Jeffress trying to get it behind the net. Schultz battling as well. Schultz out for Tomko. A shot save made by Calloway, and they'll cover that one up with the glove. Minute and 19 seconds into this one. Face-off will come to the right here of Callaway. Of course, like we said earlier, the Fargo Forcemen who played for the team last year. Played for Fargo last year, I should say. Face-off will come to the right of him. It is won there by DeGraff. Sent out towards center. Popped up into the air. Carlson bats it down. Vatne now intercepted Owen DeGraff. Oh, he gets taken away from the puck and he lost his stick in the process. Dinovich knocks it down with a hand. Not allowed to do that, but that's okay. Ooh, nice cutoff there by Olsen. Taken there behind the net. Vatne with it in the circle. Vatne on out Dyer, and he gets a huge hit applied to him from Owen DeGraff. Shea will take it behind the net. Shea into the hands there of Olsen. Here's Olsen behind the net with Stenger. Stenger just kind of leaves it there. Stenger, long toss down ice off the stick of Geiger. Here's Geiger with it into the corner. Geiger behind the net. Picked up there by Dallas Potter. Here's Geiger. Out angle shot was stopped there by Callaway. Here comes Waterloo back the other way on a 2-on-2. Up the left side there, Lafleur. Lafleur is in. And that got cut off nicely. Shea also got a poke check on him as well. Lalibert sends it back behind the net of Ryder Shea. Shea plays it on over Poirier there for Stenger. Stenger off the boards towards center. Dallas Potter tied up. Geiger didn't know where the puck was. Well, now they called a hand pass, so. I don't see Jason Kersner on the bench. Did he get suspended too, I wonder? I bet you $1 million freaking he did. Because he had a problem with the officiating last night. Can't say I blame him. But that's just dumb. If you can't take the heat, then get out of the damn kitchen. Like, come on. Face-off will come to the right of Ryder Shea. O'Leary will take the draw with Emery. Face-off's won. Emery down low in the circle. There's Lalibert with it. Now Emery out towards the blue line. There's Jackson Schneider. There, Lalibert. Shot save made by Ryder Shea. Flashes the glove.
Fans, make sure to stick around after the game as we are auctioning off our Frenchies jerseys. Don't miss your chance to take home one of these 84 special jerseys tonight. So stick around after the game and get ready. They sure did.
Face-off's won. Shea immediately stops it off the face-off. It's in a scramble for it down low in the corner. Here's Schneider. A shot save made Shea. Rebound. They couldn't get to it. Now it's Luke Gary with it. Gary sends it out towards center for Gavin. Gavin on a 3-on-2. Nice pass across. Christian Lyons with it. Lyons now Schneider picked out towards center. Carr whacks it in off the boards. Now Luke Gary batted around. Emery take it back by O'Leary. Here's O'Leary back the other way with Gary. 2-on-2. Boy, and Jackson Schneider pushes him away. Be careful where you're touching. That's all I'm going to say. Puck sent down into the corner. Picked up there by Ty Mason behind the net. Mason Stenger with it. Stenger off the boards. Here's Tomko towards center. Tomko and a foot race there with Vikla. Vikla in the corner. Taken there by Jefferson, a scramble for. Because I knew something was going on because I actually saw Kersner before the game and he wasn't dressed up in his suit and tie. So that's when I knew something was going on. So yeah, he must have been suspended, which is just lovely. Just for this game, I hope. Here's Schultz with it. Stenger now with it. Mishandled Viviano. Viviano at center. Because he didn't get kicked out of the game, so I don't know what happened. Max Jakob with it. Jakob, long toss. Here's Tomko with it. Tomko, a shot, save. Callaway, rebound. Well, got his own rebound. The Jefferson shot was stopped by Callaway. Taken there, Ryan Marquardt with it. Marquardt behind the net. Tipped there by Ashton Schultz towards center. Schultz now to Jeffress. He gets tripped up. Nothing called. Shocker. Here's Dinovich with it. Dinovich behind the net out towards center. Dinovich off the boards into the hands there of Camden Langfeld. Langfeld sends it down into the corner. Here's Tim with it. Tim. Martino in a scramble for. Martino popped up into the air into the corner. Taken there by Adam Tim. Tim on back towards the blue line. Dyer had him tied up. Here's Vatne. Feeds it off to Martinu. Martinu on back to Dyer. Dyer on a cross pass, cut off nicely. Now Martinu in front, dragged into the corner by Galloway. Now it's Carr with it. Carr sends it back behind the net. Vatne out for Shane Gould. Gould takes a shot, deflected wide into the corner. Tim with it. Tim on Owen DeGraff. DeGraff sends it off. Langfeld. Now Gavin Carr with it, poked all the way down ice. This should go for icing, and it will. Although it went off the car, so I don't know how that would work, but whatever. I don't give a flying frick, that's for sure. D-A-Y, night. S-A-T-U-R, D-A-Y, night. Face off will come to the left of Callaway. O'Leary wins it. It gets back to Luke on over across. Here's a shot, save made by Callaway. That one, I believe, was from Jakob. Well, anyway, 14:08 left to go in the first. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
It's not a joke. Every journey ends with a wiggle. Turns will be turned with you. Plans disappear. Dreams take over. But wherever I go, there you are.
True or false? These are form with the same number of votes as adults. If you said false,
Welcome back, everybody. 14:08 left to go in the first. We are tied up currently at 0. Face-off will come to the right here of Callaway. So far, Sioux City playing a very good game, as they should, against a team that's basically eliminated from the playoffs and has nothing to play for. I mean, it should happen that way. Potter out towards the blue line. Nice play. Christian Lyons with it. Lyons picked up there by Daniil Booten. Booten tipped up the right side. Geiger sends it back behind the net. Potter with it. Picked up there. Rio Treharn. Treharn behind the net. Potter knocks him up against the boards. Okay, that sounded wrong. Here's Christian Lyons with it. Lyons. I didn't mean for it to sound like that, but it just did. Lyons. Out towards center there for Dallas Potter. Potter picked up Daniil Booten, rather, I should say. Booten behind the net with it. Dinovich sends it back the other way. Picked up now by Rio Treharn. Treharn out towards center. Nice little cutoff by Poirier, but it's played offsides. Because of course it was. Face-off will come in front of the Musketeers bench. It'll be Gavin Gary taking the draw here with Cullen Emery. We've got Gary O'Leary out there. I love it. Poirier with it. Poirier out towards center. Picked up there by O'Leary. Intercepted. Lalibert with it. Lalibert now into the hands of Stanger. Stanger into the hands of Luke Gary up the right side. Gary, nice moves to Kyle O'Leary. Back to Luke Gary. Luke Gary out front. Pass across. Callaway made a nice stop. Now Poirier. There's O'Leary with it. O'Leary, a shot got blocked there in front. Now taken out towards the blue line by Stanger. Here's Stanger. Takes a shot, went wide off the boards. Poirier, an on-angled shot was stopped by Callaway. And it's cleared out towards center there by Dylan Nolan. A foot race for the puck. Stanger, who's going to get to it first? Stanger does. Poirier. That was Cullen Emery chasing after him. Poirier now takes this one. Poirier tipped there by Mason at center. Schneider was there as well. Taken. Here's Ty Mason, their captain at center. Mason on over across. Off the stick. That one's deflected in by Viviano. And Waterloo is on the board first. So for Viviano, that will be his 15th goal on the air. He's already got 3 this weekend, so might as well just add it all on. So Tomko now and Viviano, because of course they'll keep him out there, right? That makes sense. Face-off's won. Good Lord. Here's James Russell with it. Russell on over there. Marquardt down there into the corner. Olsen couldn't get a handle on it. Cincy City, they've played a great game so far, up until that goal. Here's Schultz with it. Schultz through a defender. Schultz, a shot went wide to Callaway. Here's Gould with it. Gould there for Schultz. Schultz on back to Tomko. Poke checked away. Now taking up the left side, Marquardt. Down into the corner. Olsen picks this one up. Olsen on over there for Gould. Gould now to Schultz towards center. Here's Schultz. Crossing the blue line, Tomko. Tomko to the blue line. On over Stenger. Shot save made Callaway. Rebound loose in front. Tomko. Now picked up there by Travis Lafleur out towards center. Or that wasn't Lafleur, but rather Owen DeGraff. Here's Stenger with, in fact, is Lafleur even playing? He is. He's just on the 4th line. Go figure. Puck sent back behind the net of Ryder Shea. Couldn't get a stick on it, I guess. Who cares? Good Lord. Here's Dyer with it. Dyer. Picked up Vatne. Now Martineau with it in the circle. Martineau forced out towards center there. Aiden Dyer. Picked up by a Gavin Carr. Carr sends it back behind the net of Dane Callaway. Callaway now. Vatne with it. Vatne behind. 10.5 left to go here in this first. Picked up there by Dinovich. Dinovich out towards center. There, Toby Carlson with it at center. Carlson. Now Vatne picked up Gavin Carr, sends it back behind the net of Callaway. I guess Callaway wanted an icing. He wasn't going to get it, though, nor should he have. Now they're tied up down there in the corner, and a scramble for. Boy, they really got it jammed up down there. My goodness. Swear you blow the whistle. Boy, goodness. That took at least 15, 20 seconds off the clock. They couldn't believe that. Here's Treharn with it. Treharn sends it off the boards back behind the net. There now, Cullen Emery in a scramble for down there in the corner. Picked up by Aiden Dyer. Here's Dyer with it. In the corner, it's loose. Emery with it. Emery in a scramble for down low in the circle. Dyer, now Martineau into the hands of Christian Lyons. Here's Vatne with it. Vatne on over to Christian Lyons. Tip there, Martineau off the boards down there into the corner. Lalibert picks this one up. Lalibert. Sent off the boards, Emery. Here's Waterfield with it. Waterfeld. Sent on back, Emery. A shot went wide of Ryder Shea. That one picked up there by O'Leary. Here's O'Leary out there for Gavin Gary, or Luke Gary rather, I should say. Olsen with it back behind the net. O'Leary was there. And a scramble for O'Leary behind the net. Schneider. Puck finally breaks free here. Lalibert with it. Lalibert out towards center. Mishandled there. Olsen. Olsen down into the corner. Olsen will just stand there behind the net as Waterloo completes their line change. It's Olsen with it. Up the right side, Gavin Gary has this one. Gary now there with Ty Mason. Mason poked down Luke Gary. Viviano, oh, he was taken down there by Gavin Gary. Now Schultz couldn't come free with it. Rolls down into the corner. Schultz sends it back behind the net there. Marquardt with it behind the net. Marquardt into the circle. Back behind the net there with James Russell. Russell out towards center. Poirier with this one. Now Jeffress takes it up the right side. Jeffress into the circle off the boards. Viviano poked up into the air and into the penalty box. But they call that out of play. So 7:45 left to go here in this first. We'll take a break. We'll be Let's see. Yeah, we will be back. Welcome back, everybody. 7:45 left to go here in this first period. Right now, Waterloo with an early 1-0 lead, but I have a feeling that is not going to last very long. At least, God, I hope it doesn't. Oh, my goodness. Sioux City, I mean, they've pretty much controlled this whole game, so I don't know. We'll see. Then I feel all right now. Face-off will come in front of the penalty box across from the Musketeers bench. Yeah, it's a big crowd here tonight, which is nice. Taking the draw, Dallas Potter and Owen DeGraff. Drop it. Oh, it's DeGraff's fault, so anyway, Potter wins it. Potter sends it on over there. Poirier tipped there to Neil Booten down into the corner. Behind the net, Vikla is there. Vikla up the left side, picked up Langfeld, and I think that one went out of play, yes. End of the seats between 103 and 104. Souvenir time, as good old Danny Vaughn with the Explorers would say. In fact, new season will start in about a month, almost 2 months, about 2 months from today, actually, I think is when the season starts. So we'll have that for you right here on RVN. Potter will take the draw with DeGraff, face-offs one. Stanger dumps it back behind the net of Dane Calloway. Picked up there to Neil Booten behind the net. Mason Stanger with it. Now Lenny Geiger sends it in. Here's DeGraff with it up the left side. DeGraff in the corner, and he's knocked out by Geiger, and he gave him two nice, good cross checks. Woofda. You gotta love that, that's for sure. Here's Geiger with it. Geiger taken there by Dallas Potter. Here's Potter out towards center. Potter dumps it back. Hits the stanchion, kind of funny. Took a funny bounce. Now Lalibert with it. Lalibert tipped there by Langfeld down into the corner. Langfeld making his debut tonight, so I hope it's a horrible game for him. Olsen with it. Olsen sends it on up there for Vatne. Vatne spun around a defender, but taken there Jackson Shire. Derek Olsen with this one at the blue line. Here's Olsen with it. Olsen in a scramble for. Picked up Vatne. Tip Martin in front. Shot got blocked. Now Vatne with it. Taken down there into the corner. Lafleur with it. Lafleur sends it back behind the net. Out in front, Calloway. Martin on over across. He should have just took a shot at it. Now Max Jakob, an on-angled shot was blocked. Now poked away Aiden Dyer out towards the blue line. Here's Dyer with it. Dyer takes a shot, went up high and wide. Here's Vatne now with it. Vatne out towards the blue line. Jakob tipped in front behind the net. Tim with it now. Tim, he gets slammed into the boards there by Vatne. Picked up there by Martineau in the corner. Here's Martineau. Ooh, we're going to have a penalty coming up on Waterloo. Shea back to the bench. And it'll be Lalibert to the box. So Sioux City will have the power play. First penalty of the night. I like it. I like it. 14:28 time of the penalty. Holding will be the call. So here we go. We've got Tomko, Schultz, Gavin Gary, Luke Gary, and Shane Gould out there for the Sioux. Schultz will take the draw with Viviano. Face-offs one. Here's Gould with it. Gould out towards the blue line. Gould on back to Luke Gary. Down low. Gavin Gary in front. That one went right through the crease. Tomko there in front. Puck is loose. It's jammed out towards center. Picked up there by Luke Gary. Luke just kind of leaves it there for Shane Gould. Here's Gould out towards center. Tomko with it. Tomko. Luke Gary now to Ashton Schultz. There tipped in front. Gavin Gary with it there to William Tomko. Tomko out towards the blue line. Gould with it. Gould. Gould on over there. Tomko in deep. There's Tomko. Down low. Jakob Schultz rather behind the net now. Schultz feeds it on out to Luke Gary. Now out for Shane Gould. He got a goal last night, and I believe he had an assist as well. Gould, one-time shot. Luke Gary went wide. Less than a minute to go here on the power play. And that one's cleared by Ty Mason. Oh, a good start to the power play for Sioux City, but... And, of course, that clear happened, so forget that. Here's Vatne with it. Vatne feeds it off to O'Leary. Here's Aiden Dyer with it. Dyer. Nice block there by Toby Carlson. Here's Aiden Dyer with it. Poked out towards center. We have a foot race for it. LaFiera, oh, he got tripped up, and that's going to be a penalty. So we'll go 4-on-4 now. And Vatne will go to the box. Tripping will be the call. 16:07 time of the penalty. Face-off will come to the right of Ryder Shea. Schultz will take the draw with Viviano. Just ridiculous. Here's Dinovich with it. Dinovich a shot saved by Shea.
Our players in the box for your finances don't have to. It's no offer. Helps that competitor so you can stay on the road.
Face-off will come to the right of Shea. Luke Gary will take the draw with Viviano. Face-offs one. Here's Gavin Carr with it. Carr back behind the net. Christian Lyons will handle this one. Lyons up the left side there for O'Leary, or Carr rather, excuse me. Carr. Taken there by Ashton Schultz. Here's Schultz at the blue line. Well, now Waterloo has the power play for the next minute 37. Here's Schultz with it. Takes a shot, got blocked. See, here's Lalibert with it. Lalibert just kind of stands there. Viviano, now Dinovich takes this one up. Viviano now to Russell. Waterloo very dangerous on the power play, kind of like Des Moines. So we got to be aware of that. Cullen Emery forced out towards the blue line there for Vikla. Vikla sent on over to Hayden Russell. That's probably one of Waterloo's only strengths this year, is that they're good on the power play. Here comes Jeffress back the other way, shorthanded. Uh-oh, now he gets taken down. You call one on Vatne, but you can't call one for them. My goodness. No, but they'll call offsides, though. Wow. Wow. See, I told you when there's only one referee, bad things happen. Tomko will take the draw with Cullen Emery. I mean, you gotta call it fair and square. My goodness. Here's Schneider with it. Takes it down into the corner. Schneider picked up there by Treharn. Tomko out towards the blue line there. Dinovich. Here's Schneider with it in the circle. Schneider back to Dinovich. 25 seconds left to go on the Waterloo power play. Pass out front, Schneider just trickled wide into the corner. Treharn with it. Treharn. Now Olsen battles with them. Has him pinned up against the board. Stanger picks this one up. Here's O'Leary with it. O'Leary 2-on-1. Feeds it off to Tomko. Here's Tomko. Stops. Pass out in front. O'Leary's was stop Callaway. Rebound through the crease. While we're back to 5-on-5. Back to full strength. Which is good. Oh, and a big hit! Carr on Treharn. My goodness, here's DeGraff with it. DeGraff back behind the net. Do not mess with us. Here's Potter with it. Potter thrown down into the corner. Callaway behind the net, picked up there by Marquardt. Marquardt out towards center. 1:12 left to go here in this first. Here's Martineau with it up the right side. Martineau in on Callaway. Shot, he made the stop. Potter on out there for Derek Olsen. Here's Olsen at the blue line. Got blocked. Trickles on over to Shane Gould. Spun around a defender. Gould with it. Down low, Martineau. On back, Olsen. Shot went wide behind the net. Boot and wrap around. Tried front. Scores! Dallas Potter! We are tied! Boy, a bouncer went back behind the net. Booten first shot missed, and then Potter through the legs of Callaway into the net. Just like that, we are tied. Time of the goal, 19:09. Boy, for Dallas Potter, well, he doesn't score much. That's only his second goal on the year, but we'll take goals from anybody. Boy, and Daniil Booten, he doesn't get very many points either. Point number 9 on the year for him. Luke Gary with the behind the net. Gary sets it on over Nolan Road. Tomko with it, down low in the circle. Taken there by Road. Olsen around the boards there for Luke Gary. Ooh, Schneider almost landed a hit on Luke. He's a little offline, but, you know, those things happen. And we are done with 1 period of play. Boy, that was quite a first. That is for sure. Quick little recap of that first. Well, it started out 7 minutes and 51 seconds in. Salvatore Viviano scored from Ty Mason and Nash Road. That made it a 1-0 game. Then at 14:28, Lalibert went in 2 minutes for holding. And then at 16:02, Vatne went in 2 minutes for tripping. And then at 19:09, Dallas Potter tied it up from Daniil Booten and Pavel Martineau. So it's 1-1 heading into the second period. Let's take a look at some scores from across the league. Right now, Youngstown's up on Dubuque 1-0. 1:49 left to go in the second. Fargo leads 2-1, just beginning the second down, or up in Michigan, I should say. Muskegon is at Chicago here, tied up at 0. 3.5 left to go in the first period. Tri-City leads Omaha 1-0 with 5:58 left to go in the first. Right now tied up at 0, 1:49 left to go in the first. Sioux Falls is at Lincoln. Team USA will be at Madison here in about half an hour, as well as Green Bay at Cedar Rapids. NHL scores from across the country. Right now, Rangers have a 4-1 lead over Minnesota with 1:44 left to go in the second period. Right now, tied up at 1. Toronto's at Buffalo, 8:50 left to go in the first. 12:13 left to go in the first. The Canadians lead the Sharks 1-0. Hurricanes lead the Lightning 1-0 with 5:12 left to go in the first. Devils lead the Kings 1-0 with 5:24 left to go in the first. Islanders lead the Flames 1-0 Ducks with 6:52 left to go in the first. Blue Jackets at Flyers just getting underway. Coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Detroit is at Dallas. Then at 9, Pittsburgh at Mammoth. Then at 10, Kraken at Canucks, as well as Blackhawks at Golden Knights. Senators beat the Ducks 2-0. Bruins beat the Capitals 3-2 in a shootout. Jets beat the Avalanche 3-1. NBA scores. Right now, 3:42 left to go in the third quarter. The Celtics lead the Wizards 85-55. Magic are at the Heat later on tonight, as well as Denver at the Lakers. 10:30 Eastern Time, Kings are at the Clippers. Then the 76ers beat the Nets 104-97. Hawks beat the Bucks 122-99. Spurs beat the Hornets 115-102. College basketball, men's action. Big 12 final. Arizona leads Houston 49, make that 51-39 with 16:37 left to go in the second. Big East tournament final. Right now, St. John's leads UConn 40-27 at half. 8:30 Eastern Time, Virginia will be at Duke. Arkansas beat Ole Miss in overtime in the semifinals, SEC 93-90. Michigan beat Wisconsin 68-65. Vanderbilt beat Florida 91-74, and then Purdue beat UCLA 73-66. MLB scores, World Baseball Classic time. Coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, Venezuela's at Japan in the quarterfinals. And then Italy beat Paraguay in the quarterfinals 8-6. So, yeah, we'll take a break. This will be an extended intermission, so we won't be back with you until right around the end of the hour. So, yeah, we'll take a break. Second period coming up after this.